It seems to me that there is some confusion about the idea of forgiveness. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on it and why it's so important. So if someone hurts you, hurts your feelings, disrespects you, you feel angry at them or upset, disappointed, you should always forgive them no matter how heinous the backstabbing was. And this is because not forgiving them is only hurting you. So every time you think of what they did, you get upset again. You get angry, disappointed. All of these negative feelings start coming up. And this can just happen over and over and over and over forever. Really, you can hear people that are old talk about something that happened 40 years ago, and you can see it emotionally affect them once again. And so you're triggering yourself into this terrible emotional state every time you remember the situation. And that is not a good way to live. A lot of people in our society right now are so used to being triggered all the time into a state of anger or rage, and it makes you easier to manipulate as a person because you're literally being controlled by these emotions. You have given up any of your own ability to control yourself and control your emotional internal state when you are being really reactive to things like that. And there are injustices in the world, and sometimes, of course, it's validated, but it's important to prioritize yourself and your sanity so that you can actually be stable in how you approach these situations when they are really upsetting to you, because that will lead you to act in a way that you can never regret. When you let an emotion control you, sometimes we can act a little bit out of character, and that's just not beneficial to us, or to the other person. It's just better to step back, okay? Regulate yourself before you act out. But I want to talk about forgiveness because I feel like maybe people don't understand what it is. By saying you should always forgive people, I'm not saying that you should necessarily forget what they've done. I'm not saying that you should maintain a relationship with them. Maybe you decide you don't want them in your life anymore, or you can't work with them, whatever your situation is. And that's fine. I totally respect that. I think having boundaries is a good thing, but we should still forgive them for our own sake. Like, you can look at it like a selfish act, um, because it is, in a way, because you're going forward with peace. You're deciding that they will not be controlling you anymore. And also, I think maybe there's some confusion as to how to do this. I'm not saying you need to go up to the person and say, I forgive you. You don't ever have to talk to them again. But when you think of the scenario, you need to have the awareness in your mind that you're thinking about it again. You're going down this same rabbit hole over and over about the situation, getting upset again. You need to stop yourself at the beginning before you've become dysregulated and upset. And you need to see, okay, I'm doing this again. I forgive them. And when you say that in your mind, you might get a little pushback at first and be like, but they did this and that was so bad. And you just say, I forgive them. And you don't let yourself think about it anymore. That's what I'm talking about. And this is so important to be able to create better situations in your life, better relationships in the future, and open yourself back up to love instead of just letting this situation paint how you view humanity or what you expect from people. That's not good. It will only cause you harm in the future to keep festering on this. So practice when you feel upset about something or you feel wronged, saying, I forgive them in your head and moving on. And over time, you will notice that it is easier and easier to be less emotionally reactive. And you save a lot of time because if you're going through this whole I mean, you can be upset for quite a long time. It's not helpful. And if you just say, I forgive them, move on, that doesn't ruin your day. You're still having a great day. This is important, okay? Times are not so easy these days. A lot of people are really struggling. So, being able to put yourself first and practice things that can give you any amount of peace or joy in your life is so, so important. And the last thing I want to say is this does not just extend to other people. Maybe most importantly, this is for you. You need to forgive yourself for anything that you have done. You might have really made a huge mistake in the past. You might have really hurt someone that you care about, okay? And it can be really hard to live with this regret and shame and guilt, and it might feel like you have to punish yourself, but you don't. I am giving you permission. You can forgive yourself and start to live a more peaceful life because you deserve that, regardless of what you have done in the past. Everyone deserves that because when you have a peaceful internal state, it is easier to navigate the world in a way that is calm and positive, and you can be inspiring hope in other people. You can do amazing things no matter what has happened in your past, okay? So just forgive yourself and say that to yourself. If you ever catch yourself in a moment of replaying something that happened that was embarrassing, or you did something that you regret, say I forgive myself and move on and stop thinking about it. This will be very, very powerful for you if you implement this in your life. We spend a lot of time ruminating as a society, either ruminating about something we regret that happened in the past or worrying about the future. And cut yourself off and just say, I forgive myself for whatever may have happened, and move on. Okay, see you later, guys.